First Chronicles, chapter 13. The book of Chronicles, First Chronicles, chapter 13. The book of Chronicles is similar to what happened with First and Second Samuel, First and Second King, and First and Second Chronicles, all about the kings of Israel. Okay, and some of it is parallel. Okay, Samuel started out. When you get to the book of Samuel, Samuel the prophet that started out who anointed the first king. Samuel anointed Saul king, and he's going to anoint David king. Okay, he's the first prophet. And so the book is named after him. So First Samuel is about who? It's King Saul. Second Samuel is about David. First King is about the king after David, and then Second Kings continues the story of the kings. Chronicles come in between there, and then Israel is divided into two nations, Israel and Judah. So that's how this book works. When you get to the Chronicles, it is a recording events, and some of the events have happened prior. Today in Bible, I want to talk to you about the Ark of the Covenant. It's important that we understand as best we can what God is doing when it comes to his property. Brother Deacon Rivera and I on one accord, and we're trying to update that word, some of the things at the church. So we're talking, and he's trying to do the parking lot, and thanks for the Harris's coming out this way. We're trying to get the parking lot done, and then we're looking at other things, the tile and things like that, and it's almost sad to know that it's 40 years old, and I know that because I was here. What I'm saying is it's time, it's just time for those things to improve. And so we think about, there are times when we think about the things of God. You follow me? And God's not going to update this church. We're going to have to do that. And He might provide the money, He might provide the things how to get done, but it's going to be something on our heart. Sister Arlene, I watched her this morning stop and straighten up that pad thing out in front door. It's something like that where I just know that she wouldn't do it for nobody. You know what I'm saying? I just know she stopped, and I'm thinking, I didn't walk by because I can't do the back door. When we say this, just stuff like that, things like that. When I walk by and somebody said, "Oh, I'm gonna straighten that up," and I think we do.
Yes, I did. I don't want to interrupt you, but the guy next door came a few minutes ago, and they restriped their parking lot. They had to stripe. They said the city sent them a notice.
Okay.
Yeah. So I asked him who did it. He said, my mother-in-law is 80 years old, and she was out there help doing the parking lot.
Okay.
And he said, well, I can give y'all the number. I said, no, they're going to do it next Saturday.
Yeah.
And he said, they also got a notice to trim their bushes.
Okay.
And he asked if it's okay if they park next Saturday or Sunday. He's going to be next Saturday, I think. He's going to be doing a wedding. And can they use our parking lot? I said yes.
What time is that?
He said 1 o'clock.
Yeah. Joe will be on our parking lot.
Yeah, I'll be here somewhere around 10 in the morning.
Okay.
Right.
The next year's driving for me.
Yeah.
He'll check it.
Yeah, because I want to put my truck again, so.
Okay.
I told him that y'all were going to be here next Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Thank you. That's good.
Yeah.
And so the things of God are vital. We have to realize that God wants his things look nice, and He puts it on our heart, to do it. Me and Brother Joe, we meet with a family today that's donating some significant amount of money, we think, toward the parking lot, and we've been meeting at the church today to see how that goes. But God will have to touch people's hearts, things will be changed. But we have to have a mind of things done. And so when you come to David, that's what I'm trying to remind you, because today I'm going to preach on David. This issue today, God was very displeased with David. And I won't be preaching about that. But what I want you to understand is none of us are perfect. Okay? None of us are perfect. But there come times when we have to mind the things of God. Okay? Somebody has to do that. Okay? Somebody has to do that. And so some of the people that were left here, have been here a long time, Joe Rivera, Sister Arlene, and different wards, Arlene taking care of the finances, those type of things have to continue on, you know. And thank God that no one got crazy and tried to remove her Joe, you know, because we had pastors come and go. But somebody has to stay here and mind the things of God. And so some of you don't know why. Some of you don't know why you're still here. Well, God is saying, I can have somebody that handle these circumstances. And so in First Chronicles, it's this story of this ark. This ark. And I tried to figure out how, there's no way to explain to you how important this ark is. Israel served, it was an issue because Israel served an invisible God. And they had to tell everybody else, we serve, now all the countries serve gods, idol gods. This is my God. They build him up, put him there. This is my statue, this is my God. And when it comes to Israel, they had no God to point to. And so the people looked at them and said, what about this invisible God? And God don't play games. They can't say, okay, God, will you do something so they'll know that you really love? He don't do that. All right. He just blessed them, and yet they had this national embarrassment, maybe for a word, that they could not point to one thing that said they had a God. That they had a God. Okay. And even out of pride that they were being blessed by this God, winning all these battles, they still could not point to a significant thing. And so when God allowed Moses to build an ark, it became the one visible thing that they attest to. Remember, the ark represented the presence of God. It wasn't a statue. They had no hands, had no feet, had no head. It was a box. About 3 feet long, it's rectangular, 2 feet, I think, wide, and about 3 feet. And on top of this, it had the cherubims, like a cherubim was angels, and they were both pointing toward each other. And this box was overlaid in gold. And on top of this was 2 cherubim that was facing each other, with the wings out, facing each other, wasn't touching. And that was considered the mercy of God. All right? That's important because when Solomon got ready to kill Adonijah, his brother, he ran to the altar and grabbed the mercy seat. And Solomon told him, go get him off the mercy seat, you know, and kill him. But because they weren't going to make no mercy, you know how they won't make no days. But that's what he went to. But that's the only thing they had. And so when they went in the battle, that's what they took. Other kings took all kinds of statues and emblems representing God. They took the Ark of the Covenant. They couldn't touch it. They put those rods through there, and they get behind it, and the priest carried that with them. That represented God's presence. Okay? And so David, who minded things go, was always concerned about the Ark of the Covenant. In fact, he was so concerned about it until when Absalom ran him out of his throne, his palace, he sent it back. They grabbed the Ark of the Covenant. That's God's presence. He said, now hold it. If God don't bring it back as king, the new king will need that. That's the presence of God. It's too big. It's bigger than me. I'm not going to take that with me. If God is choosing another king, he needs the Ark of the Covenant. So take it back. Leave it there and watch over it. So in this story here, we have a story about them trying to move this image of God. God said, don't have an image of me, don't create an image. So this is not an image, but this, I don't know the word for it, but this symbol that represents the presence of God to Israel. And it's very important because this ark had power because it was representing God. When the priest touched the water with the ark, the water backed up. All right? So in verse 13 it says that David consulted with the captains of thousands and hundreds and with every leader. And David said unto all the congregation of Israel, if it seem good unto you, and that it be of the Lord our God, let us send abroad unto our brethren everywhere that are left in all the land of Israel, and with them also to the priests and Levites which are in the cities and suburbs, that they may gather themselves unto us. And let us bring again the ark of our God to us. For we inquired not at all in the days of Saul. Saul had a lot of issues. One issue was he was not I won't say godly man, but he didn't care about things of God. You don't see Saul handling the ark. You don't see that. He didn't care that much about person of God, and then of course it cost him the kingdom eventually because he did not lift God into that level. So David said, let us bring again the ark of our God to us, for we inquire not at all in the days of Saul. Saul did not inquire of God in the ark. That's why he got carried away. He loved Samuel, and he listened to Samuel, the prophet, but he did not go to the ark like David did. So David gathered all Israel together from Shiloh of Egypt, even unto the entering of Hemath, to bring the ark of God. And David went up, and all Israel to Baalah, that is to Jerim, which belonged to Judah, to bring up thence the ark of God, the Lord, that dwelleth between the cherubims, whose name is called on it. And they carried the ark of God in a new cart out of the house of Abinadab, and Uzzah and Ahio dragged the cart. And David and all Israel played before God with all their might. Instruments, played. And with singing, and with harps, and with sorceries, and with timbrels, and with cymbals, and with trumpets. So they just made a big celebration with this ark. And when they came into the threshing floor of Shittim, Uzzah put forth his hand to hold the ark, for the oxen stumbled. All right? They got this ark, and you couldn't touch it, so they had little rings, Joseph, they had little rings on the side of the ark. And they pulled and stuck through the ring. They couldn't touch the ark itself. They could touch these rings, and that's how they carried it. And this ox stumbled, and Uzzah reached out his hand to study the ark. All right? And when he did that, God struck him. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Uzzah, and he smote him, and he killed him, because he put his hand to the ark, and there he died before God. And David was displeased, because the Lord had made a breach upon Uzzah. Wherefore that place is called Perez Uzzah to this day. And David was afraid of God that day, saying, how shall I bring the ark of God home to me? Okay, I'm saying three things there. I don't know about this, so I don't know. Three things there. One is he's afraid to move the ark. If somebody touches it, he's going to die. What's the oxen stumble again? Ain't nobody going to try to touch it. You know? And so David's afraid of God. He's afraid to move it. He want to move this ark. Okay? I'm not saying sometimes, let's be careful, sometimes we don't understand what God is doing. Now you thinking in the scripture, God will say, okay, God knows that the ox stumbled, right? And God knows that the ark is rocking. But the command was, don't touch it. All right? And even though Uzzah meant well, I don't say he said he went to hell. Even though he meant well, but God said don't touch it. And so he touched it. So what other thing to do? Stand back and watch it fall. Or maybe it wouldn't have failed. Maybe God would stop it. But anyway, God, some laws he has is absolute. So David gets afraid. David said, how can I bring this ark? So what you understand is that David is concerned about this ark. This represents God. And he wants it in the temple. This is the same thing. He's going to come. Years later, he's going to come before God and say, I'm going to build you a house. The same ark. He said, eventually he's going to get the ark in. And so eventually he's going to, in 2 Samuel chapter 11, he's going to stand before the Lord. Remember, I told y'all, he talked about, I said, Lord, I'm in a house, and you live in a tent. He come up the ark. And someday I want to build you a house. And God told him, no, you can't build it. Your hands are bloody. Some of them build it. Okay. But this is the same ark that David was concerned about. Okay, so, And they were displeased because the Lord had made a breach unto Uzzah, wherefore that place called Perez, Uzzah to this day. And they were afraid of God that day, said, how shall I bring the ark of God home to me? So David brought not the ark home to himself to the city of David. That was not to me, to the city of David. But carried it aside into the house of Obed-Edom. And remember this part, Obed-Edom, the Gittite. Listen to the verse here. Verse 14. And the ark of God remained with the family of Obed-Edom in his house 3 months. And the Lord blessed the house of Obed-Edom and all that he had. Now, Chronicles is supposed to be written, David did not forget the ark. He was scared to bring it home because he was scared that somebody was going to fall and break. All right? So the nearest neighbor was Obed-Edom. And they said, Obed, hold on to this ark for us. Obed's okay. So he eased it into his house. The presence of God is in Obed-Edom's house. God had blessed everything he had. David never forgets to check it every so often. What's going on over here? Oh man, he's been blessed. Everything he has been blessed. Whatever he did, whether he had sheep or whatever he had, was been blessed. Because God is, that's what God is. He is blessing everything. And David thinks about that heart. He said, man, I gotta get that thing home. And so finally, 3 months, he was down for 3 months of them. So David goes to get the ark. And I already told you about the story about that. So David said this here. He said, listen, we got to make sure God is not angry. I want to bring this ark home. I want to bring it to, he said, to the city of David, then that's Jerusalem. David had enlarged the city, and part of the city of Jerusalem was where his palace was. And that's what they called the city of David, the palace, where his palace was. And it was the same place on this palace where David wanted to build God a house. Instead, Solomon was going to build it on Mount Zion, but that's next on the other side. And so David longed for the ark to come home. And so Obed-Edom down there, he just been blessed. He just been blessed. He knew that the ark is somewhere in his house, right? And the presence of God is in the house. All right. Now, what that mean for us? Listen, wherever the presence of God is, that's blessing. Yeah, and protection. And we don't now because of the New Testament, we don't have it in a wood box, the ark. Remember I told you what's inside this ark, right? Inside this ark are 3 things. First thing is the rod that budded without a root. When Israel challenged Aaron, as God picked Aaron for priest, and Israel challenged him, and God said to him, go break off a stick. And I'm going to make this stick bud in your hand, show that my presence with you. And without any kind of root, this tree limb budded out flowers and everything. So they kept that and put that in the ark. All right. When they get hungry for food, first food they had was manna, came down from heaven, right? They got a bowl of that manna and saved it, put that in the ark. So now Aaron's rod was providing God's provision. And then his provision is recorded in a bowl of manna. And the third thing was the law of Moses. Remember? The first book of the Bible, the law of Moses, God wrote his own finger. And Moses got mad when he came back down the mountain and folks were having a party and he threw it. Well, God told him to come back up to the mountain. And this time, he had to figure out more. And then God wrote on the 10 Commandments. And so that's in the ark. Those 3 things. Manna, that came from heaven, Aaron's rod, and the 10 Commandments. It was on stone, not on paper. Okay, that's in the ark. All right. So they want the ark to come home, but what we have today is the Holy Spirit. If we had an ark, it's lost somewhere. They think somebody stole it. It's in some kind of archive, but it's lost. It's because the temple was destroyed, remember? Nebuchadnezzar destroyed the temple when Israel in 60 AD. construct the temple. He made Herod's temple. That temple was destroyed. Somewhere in those temples, remember when Herod, when Nebuchadnezzar destroyed the temple. Remember he robbed it, took all the golden stuff out of it, took the golden drinking glasses, all that stuff out of there. God wrote on the wall about that. Well, somewhere in that process, the ark got lost. So that no one knows what the ark is. But what I'm saying is, but because of the Holy Spirit, we're not looking for the ark. All right? You won't find it down in the tower in my house. I love to have it. I love to have it. I love to have it. But it's not going to be down there. But what we are, why? Because God don't want to limit His blessing to one person. So that's what the Holy Spirit is all about. So we all have the Holy Spirit within our lives, and that's our, they call our protection. That's our protection, and that's our provision through God's Holy Spirit. That the presence of God, what blesses us, it's the presence. And so we have to always understand. But David was, because in David's time, because there was no Holy Spirit active and stayed, they depended on the ark. Okay, let me tell you real quickly. So in 3 months, David goes back down to Obed-Edom's house, right? And remember, he wants his ark. And David got another new cart, brand new oxen, got the ark, eased it out there and put it on the thing. And every 3-4 steps, they stopped and they sacrificed. They did that from Obed-Edom's house all the way to David's house. A few steps, he sacrificed on the animal. That's what he said, well, I'm going to please God. Remember, God was displeased with him. I'm going to displease him. That's what you think about David. He said, I'm going to please God every few steps. And he sacrificed an animal. Every few steps, he sacrificed. They did that all the way into the city. But once he got into the city, he started dancing. That's why he was so happy. He started dancing. And that's when Michael looked up, his wife looked up the window, his church hair was all up, and he was dancing, and she got angry with David, and God cursed her. Micah, his first wife, which was Saul's daughter, never had kids. Because she despised the will of God as he was praising God. Don't let nobody stop you from praising God. Don't you try to stop nobody. You know what I'm saying? Don't you try to stop anybody. She didn't try to stop him, but she was despised her jealousy because he was dancing. So they were dancing out of pure joy. He was happy. He finally made it. It took him the whole day. They finally made it with this ark into God's house, and he just looked there dancing, and his robe was all up. And so she, his first wife, was jealous because he was showing his nakedness. She said, and God cursed her for that. Because he was now listen, we can't be showing our nakedness, but but what they're trying to show you is that we are actively praising God from a pure heart. God understands. God understands. That's why I enjoy our church. I enjoy they can't do that, Sister Murphy can do it. We enjoy worship. That's what God's all about. Because we're in His presence. David teaches us that we are in His presence. The worship has come forth. Whatever style that is, all right? Whether it's clapping our hands or whatever it is, but worship has come forth. Because why? We're constantly in the presence of God. And the second thing is, He honors, just as He honors the ark. The ark represents His presence. This church building represents His presence. Right? And so God is here. There should be no question about God's not here in His presence. All right? The difference between this church and the ark, God stayed in His presence with the ark, but because we are His new ark, God don't hang around in this church when we're not here. Okay? He go right behind you. Get in your car, ride on with you. He don't stay here. He loves this building, but we are His people. We're the sheep of His pasture. Okay? And so we're in His presence at church because we're here to worship and to praise Him and to thank Him. But when we leave, He leaves. And hopefully He come back when we come back. We act right. Somebody bring Him back. And all of us in here not going to act the fool. Somebody will give Him a ride back to the church. You know. Thank God for that he can come back on somebody he ride in Sister Rivera's car, come on back. You know, he ride with the pastor today. I ride with Sister Rivera. But what I'm saying is, that's true. Is he loves us so much into his presence. And what we have to do is love the things of God. Now, I'm a young man, I'm telling you that you honor the things of God, God bless you. David is a prime example of honoring the things of God. And his whole history was involved around that ark. All right? Because that's what he goes before God. It says to Nathan, I'm going to build God a house for this ark. Right? And God said, no. But it said to him, you're not going to build me a house, I'm going to build you a house. Right? He said, and your descendant will always sit on the throne because you care about this ark. Your descendant will sit on this throne. Well, that was a Davidic covenant. Because what God was saying to him, that there will be always a descendant on this throne. And who was the final descendant? Was Jesus Christ. The Messiah is coming through David. And one of the reasons was for not to come through David and not Saul, because David loved that ark and what it represents. We don't put the church on a pedestal, but we should love what it represents. It's a refuge. It's a synagogue. It's a place for people to come who's hurting, and we don't turn him out of it. And so it represents the presence of God, and also as God's people who are loving and kind and caring. And God is already doing it. We don't know what our relationship going to be with this church next door. Okay? But we're going to be good neighbors. For some reason, Sister Murphy, we're always some kind of contact. You know, Sister Arden just told her they want to use our parking lot Saturday for that wedding. So stuff like that where Brother Joe take care of that. What I'm saying is, for some reason, they're reaching out to us, and I haven't got to reach out to them. There's some special coming out of that relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Because they continue reaching out, and it's a language issue and everything else. But God will work that out, and then we be good neighbors. But the church represents the presence of God, and we're God's people, and that's going to make us carry ourselves through certain things. Amen. Father, thank you for this day, for this Bible study, and ask that you bless our service as we go forward. In Jesus' name, amen.
Would you announce to people to use the offering envelopes for tithe envelopes? We have a lot of offering envelopes.